Hey, y'all, it's Zack, the legal tech advisor here at Lawyerist. And today I am joined by Nalini Prasad from BluShark Digital, a law firm marketing and SEO agency. So, Nalini, thanks for being with me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk SEO.
Yeah, so we're going to discuss the four fundamentals of SEO, right? These are the things that BluShark Digital uses and focuses on when they're helping law firms and attorneys increase their presence, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So as we've kind of looked at, what does Google want from you? How can you establish yourself as the smartest person in the room? We've boiled it down to a formula that says Google wants you to prove that you can best your competition in four fundamentals. And those are technical, content, link building, and local SEO. So it's a culmination of a lot of work across a bunch of different buckets. It's not just one answer, and there's no secret sauce. It's literally effort in, effort out.
Right. So this isn't something where you go, well, I just want to pay for this thing and I'll pay Google X amount of money and we're skyrocket to the top. It is, you've got to, lay the groundwork here. And so walk me through this. What's technical SEO?
Yeah, so the first of those fundamentals, and sometimes they all kind of work in sync, but I like to put them in an order where I say that technical is your foundation. If you're building a house, right, you have to have the ability for Google to understand what's on your site. You could have a site of 5,000 great pages of content, but if Google doesn't understand that 14 of those pages are specific to car accidents in Detroit, or divorce law in Charleston, then Google's less able to understand what audience you're able to help, right? So you want to use your technical to create a structure that numerically tells Google, here's how much I know about this topic in this location, right? And then it's able to take that information and compare you to your competitors, right? It's all a big rat race. And so, like I said, you want to be the smartest person in the room. So you have to show by an inch, not a mile, that you can best your competition. And for each of these fundamentals, what I kind of want to do is give very quick one or two tips per them. So on the topic of technical, the biggest thing you want to do is make sure that your URLs that link to your page at the top, they tell a story. Make sure that you have the right keywords in that URL and that you're teaching the Google bot, hey, look, I have a whole section that has this practice area, this location, and add the word lawyer into that URL. Make sure Google knows who you are, what you do, and that you're actually licensed. You are a real expert.
Then comes the content, right?
Correct. And so now once you've laid that foundation, right, of, hey, I can speak to the Google bot fluently. Remember that it's AI, right? So it may not be able to understand all the words as well, but it will understand the coding, the behind the scenes item that Google says, hey, if you have a picture, make sure you put this coding. It's literal copy and paste. Make sure you're keeping up with what Google tells you to do, right? Now you've got your foundation. It's time to build the walls, the beams, the structure of your home, and that's your content. And so I am going to say that that's the most important part of a house too, to be able to outline where you are, right? So content is king. I absolutely believe that. I only say that technical is more important just because you can have great content, but if you don't teach the bot what that content says, then you're going to have a little bit of miscommunication, right, on what you know.
And the house looks good, but it's going to sink eventually.
Exactly. Right. Right. What is that structure sitting on? So with your structure, some quick tips here is to make sure that when you write content, you are writing sophisticated content. It doesn't need to be at a crazy doctoral degree level, but you want to make sure that you have the correct grammar. Those just, cross your T's, dot your I's. Make sure that when you're creating your content that you are specifically writing that content for a certain location and practice area so that you're being very purposeful and you're really giving Google a perfect picture of what information you bring to the table, right? So a lot of sites I see, they just do like a basic car accident page. But what if you made that the Virginia Beach car accident page, right? All of a sudden now Google has more information. And if someone's standing in what it considers to be Virginia Beach, looks up they need a car accident lawyer, or dad's got a neck injury, someone was texting and driving, you now look like the expert there because you've told them you do this in Virginia Beach.
Okay. And so once people have the house built, our next step is link building, right?
Yes.
But we hear that all the time. what are we doing and why do we need that?
Yeah, in a nutshell, link building, I like to say, is the roof of your house because in theory, we could live in a house without a roof. But when it rains or it snows, it's going to be really terrible, right?
Right, right.
And we want to have the security blanket on our home.
Mm-hmm.
Link building is that extra step, the cream on the icing on the cake, all that good stuff, right? In that you need content to tell Google what you know, but then your link building are essentially endorsements from other websites and other folks saying, hey, I trust that person. I like their content. I think you should give them a chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is extra. It's padding. It keeps you ahead of your competition. And it's great. And it's very easy. I say that a lot of lawyers, you guys are out there building your referral networks, going out of your way to do a lunch or a coffee, right? It's that extra 2 seconds that when you've donated time or energy or money to an organization in the local community, asking them to mention you on their sponsorship page, right? Or their events page, making sure that your name is connected to their site and that it's linked back to your page will allow Google to understand, hey, that guy's known by this person in the community, and they actually like him enough to connect their sites, right? And that's that cushion. It's building yourself above. Now you have the technical, you have the content, and look at that, you're endorsed as well.
We all exist in a place, in a local place, and we hear about like local SEO, getting on the map and things like that. Like walk me through that if you don't mind. That's your fourth fundamental.
I love this one because I think it is the most consumer driven. Lawyers know it. Every business knows what their Google My Business is because they're all out there trying to get reviews. Every business owner is upset when they get their first 1-star review, right? You guys are paying attention to this, but that Google My Business profile where people leave your reviews is essential to your brand and how Google recognizes you. This Google My Business, you've noticed, has all these new fields and features that Google comes out with almost every other month. And what Google's doing is it's giving you an opportunity to teach your audience who you are, what you do, and give them ways to engage with your business. And then what's Google doing? They are measuring all of the engagements so that they can understand what is the ideal consumer for you. Who is the type of person that they should share your business information with in the searches, right? So your reputation. And where does that come in your house? That's your bells and your whistles. You're painting your front door bright red. You've got some beautiful shutters now. So it's how do I decorate my home and build my very visible reputation that others are talking about me now?
Right. It's that curb appeal, right?
Yep.
The thing that makes somebody go, I want to check out that house. I want to see that. And so that, okay, just to recap real quick, we've got technical, content, link building, and local SEO. And you need to be doing all of that at the same time. And that's going to boost you because long gone are the days of just, packing in keywords in, you put them in tiny font and you put it in white and it's just packed into your metadata or something. We've got to actually show Google that we are an authority, that we are the right thing for people to go to in order to get up there organically. Obviously you can pay for things, but in order to get up there organically. And that's what BluShark Digital is all about. Obviously, if people look at the review, they can see that that it's more than just that, but that is something that you guys are very good at and pride yourselves on.
Yeah, and I'll say this to the traditionalists out there. There's a lot of folks who, this is how you run a law firm, this is how a law firm goes, right? These core fundamentals are what we've seen through time, through algorithm updates, still be the 4 items that Google really cares about. They may change how they're engaging with these 4 fundamentals, but they're always going to be the core.
That's great to know. Well, Nalani, I really appreciate you being with me today.
Yes, it was great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. We'll see you.